They broke into a family home, armed with knives, on a mission to steal a car. When the 15-year-olds left, the house looked like a war zone. The judge's words, not mine. Inside was rugby legend Toutai Kefu and his family. They were stabbed, cut to the bone, and are still traumatised to this day. The punishment? One got 8 years, the other 7, with only half that time to be served and no conviction recorded. Doesn't seem right, does it? Well, Queensland's Attorney-General at the time didn't think so either, launching an appeal. But today, that failed. The Kefu's neighbour, Ben Cannon, joins me. He's now a victims advocate. Ben, you ran over to help that night. You saw the aftermath. According to the Court of Appeal, a couple of years locked up is fine, and in a few years there won't be a trace of the crime on their records. What do you make of today's decision?
Ellie, it's disgusting. I mean, the sentencing, the way that the legal fraternity look at it, they look at the head case, which was 8 years, but the reality is they've only got to serve 50% of it, which is 4. So as a victim, you see 4 years, and that's the reality of what their incarceration is. The second piece, with their no record of their name, is just an absolute disgrace, because the Kefu name, the Cannon name, the various names that are tied to these crimes throughout the state, they become the legacy, as opposed to these young criminals, these thugs, and their families having to wear the burden. So it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, and to that point you're making there, I mean, if you were to go online right now and look up Toutai Kefu, he was one of the greatest rugby legends that we've seen. He did so much for the game. This crime now defines him. And yet, here we are. This happened back in August 2021, not even 4 years ago. One of the boys is already out. The other will be free in a couple of months. And as you say, we will never know their names or their faces.
I think the reality of it is what they did is they turned up armed with weapons. They stabbed and mutilated people. The reality of it, that no one died, was an absolute miracle, regardless of your religious persuasion. It was an absolute miracle that no one died that night. And that's how the justice system needs to see this type of behaviour. Until we do, then what we're basically doing is we're continuing to try and downgrade, water down and soften the blow that benefits the criminal. We've got to call this stuff out. It's abhorrent, and these individuals' names need to be broadcast. They need to be known to community so that two things can happen. They can wear the legacy, and they can choose whether they're really sorry, because at the moment they come out in court and say they're sorry, but they don't kind of have to show the world that they are.
Yeah. Let's try and see where the judges are coming from, right? These boys were 14, they had terrible childhoods, we're told. We know that rehabilitation is a huge part of the solution. Is that possible if their crimes follow them?
I think there's 2 parts to it. I think they have to own up to it. And if you're not held accountable, then how do you ever own up to the problem? So I think that's the first piece. The second piece is, you know, you're in today's society, you're judged by your actions. If you choose to turn your life around, I know 90% of people will give you a fair go. So I think that argument that it makes it too hard for them to get on with their lives is also those people that are fighting for those youths to give them such a soft landing. Most of these kids aren't returning the favour by actually getting their lives back on track and getting on with being a decent part of community.
So Ben, do you think if this was to happen now, do you think the punishment will be different now that the new adult time for adult crime laws are in Queensland?
I definitely think the laws are moving a lot closer to where they need to be if we're not there yet. There's no doubt that we've got a long way to go for victims to be seen in the justice system as balanced. At the moment, the criminals get all the rights, they get all the get out of jail, if you like, free cards, and the victims, or if let's just say the broader community, we're the ones that are continually begging for more and begging for change. So I think we're a long way to go, certainly in Queensland.
I think that's a constant criticism that I certainly hear, and not just in Queensland, around the country, is that is that it does at a point become all about the perpetrator and the victim and their families forgotten. While I have you, and speaking of that, Ben, the teenager who stabbed and killed Brisbane mum Emma Lovell during a home invasion, that was Boxing Day 2022, he's right now appealing his 14-year sentence. He thinks it's excessive for murder. So it just feels like no matter what laws come in, no matter how frustrated police are or how traumatised families are, the justice system still doesn't get it.
I can't believe this young thug, this criminal, this gutless murderer, that he would actually stand up and say, hey, listen, I think I've been hard done by. I mean, you killed a human being. You killed someone's mother. How dare you? And I think the justice system also needs to call this out. He didn't get enough of a sentence. He got the maximum, but it's still not enough, considering what he did. So, you know, we're going to tie up a legal system. This kid doesn't have to pay for any of it, and we're going to waste that money when it could be spent somewhere else, maybe making someone that does want to get their life on track and does want to own the fact that they've mucked up or messed up. I think it's abhorrent that he's even allowed to have this appeal heard.
Yeah, well, can I just say, Ben, keep working hard because you are making a difference, and we really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Sally.